Good evening, everybody. Hopefully you are here with us this evening on what is this incredible Monday Night Natter. This evening we are going to be sneaky peeking our brand new collection. So it is an evening filled full of temptation and teases. Now, as always, if you are one of the first people joining us this evening, please let us know that you can see us, you can hear us, and we are coming across loud and clear. It's always that nerve-wracking moment whenever we hit the go live button that it all actually works and comes through as it should. Now, as always, I am not here on my own. I am, of course, joined by the wonderful Peter. We'll jump over to him and say good evening to him in just a moment. But before we do, how's your day been? What you all been up to? Have you had an incredible Monday? Has it been busy? Have we been crafting up a storm? I'd like to know. Tell me in the comments. I am the nosiest person in the world and hate to miss out on absolutely anything. So please don't hesitate to tell us what you've been doing. Here at HQ, we have had a very, very busy day. You will probably spot on my hands later lots of colours. I've been working on an article for a magazine. Doesn't come out for a little while yet. Not too sure what I'm allowed to tell you, so I'm going to say very stum. But it does come out May, I believe. I think it's something like May. But today I'm getting close to a deadline. So I'm meant to have made the cards, wrote the instructions and put them in the post probably by tomorrow. So don't tell them, but it'll be there. It'll be there. So I've been working on that. And of course we had the lovely Paula pop by and see us today from the Stamp Hut, which of course is a joy to see. The Stamp Hut recently had Gwen on their stall at Sandown, so it was kind of a nice little catch up and a bit of a planning for the next time Gwen is going to be joining the Stamp Hut on a stall somewhere, possibly, maybe near you. I'll tell you more about that later on, maybe, we'll see. Now I can see that the old comments are jumping, so let's just say good evening to a few people and then we better introduce Pete, hadn't we, before I forget his ear. You know what I'm like, memory like a sieve. Evening Wendy, evening Sharon, good evening Sheila, good evening Emma, Kim, Alison, Christine, Lynn, Deborah, Kathleen, Samantha, Laura, Adrian's Hobbies, lovely to have you with us. May, oh May's made a birthday card today, that's nice to hear, well done May, we'd love to see a picture. Feel free to post in the comments. We like to see what you're up to. Good evening, Rob. Rob, your stairs look very, very cool. If nobody's seen this, I can't remember where I've seen it, but I've seen a picture of Rob's staircase where he has framed all the way up the stairs pictures of different Normans. You know our Normans from Woodware that Francois brings us. All of those different Normans framed running up a staircase. They look amazing. I'm very, very impressed. And to be honest with you, rather inspired. I want to play. Good evening, Pauline, Sandra, Bev, Glitter Bits Crafts. Good evening. I'm glad you're here with us too. And good evening, Angela. Sorry if I've missed anybody. It would be lovely to say good evening to you all, but just in case I've missed anybody, I'm sorry. Sharon, that's a great question. Let's have a little ask of Pete. Pete's in control of ordering, and it's good because it means I don't forget to go over to him because I had forgot. So well done, Sharon. Let's say good evening to him and then we'll pick on him for a question. Good evening, Peter.
Evening all. How are we? Thank you for joining us tonight on our little sneaky peek.
Little sneaky. We have got lots of goodies.
I missed Sharon's question. What's she?
Oh, see, we're already going to have to fire you, aren't we?
Uh-huh.
It's not very good. Have you found a question or do you want me to read it to you?
Go on then, you can read it.
In short, where are the lacy squares? It's not good enough. And if you don't soon produce them from your left ear roll, we're going to come and beat you up. Sharon was much more diplomatic and polite. She was just like an ETA on when they're going to arrive. But I'm gonna inner challenge the thoughts behind Sharon's comment just in case she's getting a bit tetchy, because I would be.
Okay.
So what's the answer? When can we give Sharon lacy squares?
You're about lacy squares and lacy circles because they've all gone. Word is they're coming back to us Thursday.
Thursday.
You're impressed. You didn't think it was going to be that quick, did you?
No, I did actually. I was kind of on there. I had a feeling it'd be soon. You've made us wait long enough. Did you like that little dig? Cheeky, wasn't it? Cheeky. The mood you've got me in this evening. Okay, so lots and lots and lots of new bits to share with you this evening. Loads, genuinely loads. So we're going to start off with something that nobody really knows is coming. Even I didn't know. It was quite a shock. It was quite a surprise. But it's really, really good and I'm really, really glad it's here. So if you're one of our DT members who I can see are in the comments and you go, what is this? Where did this come from? Don't be alarmed, nobody knew, only Peter. And then Peter says to me, this is new, it's ready to go, it's on your shows. So could you just make your cards with this? Luckily, I, as always, was running behind time, so I had all the time in the world to fit them into my cards. So you will see a few cards made with it, but not all of the ones from the DT, because it simply wasn't ready. Now, talking of releases, you need to know times, days and bits, don't you? I have a whole collection, and I mean a whole collection of boards and brand new dies to go through, and stamps to go through with you shortly from our brand new release. But that and what we're about to chat about is all going to be launching exclusively on Hobby Maker this Thursday, and that will be at 2 p.m. and 6 p.m. Now, of course, if there is stock permitting, then it will launch with our stockists the following Tuesday as always. I'll try and give you more information about some of these bits later on in the show as well, but in general, what you need to know, Hobby Maker is your first port of call. That will be Thursday, 2 p.m, 6 p.m. That really is the important one for you to take note of at this stage, being honest with you. Stockists, as I say, following Tuesday. So something that you might not know about, might not have heard of, might not know was coming, as I say, I didn't, is our brand new range of Jamie Rodgers Crafts Pearl Card. Now, I chose the colours for this, so I knew it was going to arrive at some point, but I didn't know the where, the when, the how, the why, or what show we'd get to share it with you on. But I'm very excited to announce we have 12 brand new colours of Pearl Card. Now, I'm going to get some loose sheets of this so I can share it with you and show you in a bit more detail. But in a palette, in a cut, oh, let's bring that down, that's silly, you can't see it, that's a bit better. There we go, there's our 12 different colours for you. So there's 12 different colours, it is 10 sheets per packet, it is double-sided, and it's 270 GSM, just to give you a bit of an overview of what we will be looking at with this one. Now, as I said, double-sided literally means that it is double-sided. It has a white core to it, which is really lovely, because it means we can sand it off, we can dye it, we can create different effects with it, having that white core. I know you might get confused, because sometimes we're very much, oh, a white core is a bad thing, sometimes a white core is a good thing. It's a bit like a lot of things in life, in my personal opinion. There is good and bad to both. It's a bit like trying to make the argument for should we always use double-sided tape or wet glue. There's not always a one-size-fits-all answer, and it depends on what you want to be doing with it. So, quick run through of the colours. This is your pen and paper moment if you wish to take advantage of the read through. There is titanium joining the collection. There is royal purple. That's a rather yummy purple. And I think when you see it out of the packets and away from the glare and mixed with other colours, that might be one you fall in love with as much as I have. We then have this beautiful green. Now, this is kind of like a Harrodsy green to me. This one is called Royal Green. Very, very, very rich, very yummy. So that's your Royal Green. Then we've got your mint. So this is a nice soft mint shade. Then we've got Ivory. We've got Ruby Red, because a Christmas is never far away. Put that Ruby Red with that lovely green and you've got a gorgeous combo. Royal Blue. This again, very, very opulent. Look at that blue. I love a navy. Always there for navies. But of course, we don't just have dark blue, we have a light blue. This is steel blue, so a very silvery blue. Then we have ice white. We always need a white when we're talking of pearl cards. These are great because when we colour on top of them, we still get that pearlescence shining through. Then we've got gold, ooh, luxury gold. And again, that gold of that purple and that green and the red. Very, very lovely, especially when we're looking through the year at different projects. Then we have got rose gold. Now this is gorgeous because it is a soft pink with a golden hue to it. Again, I don't know how well you're going to pick that up on screen, but I have positioned our next pink beside it in the hope that you can see that golden hue coming through with the rose gold, because this one is the baby pink. Now again, on your screen they might look quite close, but I promise you there is quite a difference between them. And that gives you your 12 different colours of our brand new pearl card. Now, as I say, 10 double-sided sheets per packet, 270 GSM per sheet, white colour core, and this will be launching on Hobby Maker, so you'll be able to get hold of it on those shows. Now, I'm just going to see if I can get you a loose sheet to have a little look at. Here is the purple, for instance. Now, out of the packet, you might, oh, there you go, there's your pearly bit. Look at that shimmer. That's what we need, isn't it? Now, when we talk about a white core, This is what we mean when we tear it. There is a white core running through the middle of it, and that gives us that ability to do some really lovely vintage techniques. It also means because that's white, we can go in with distress inks and alcohol inks and bits like that and colour that to a different tone, and it works really nicely. So there are, as I said earlier, fors and againsts for different colours. Regarding your other sheets, if it helps for you to see them from out the packets or out of the packets, this gives you a little overview here of a few of the sheets I've borrowed from my room, actually in loose colours. That green is gorgeous, isn't it? So much nicer to show it to you without the glare on it. That's your rose gold, by the way, just coming in now, and that's your baby pink. You might be able to see those slightly better without the packaging in the way. And then we've got our ivory, just to give you a bit of a glimpse of those. We'll play with those more shortly, I'm sure, but it gives you an overview. Any questions regarding those ones, Peter, before we move on to the new dies? I'm rather excited about the new dies. There's lots of yumminess in die format. Oh, we are on the right camera. Me just tapping repeatedly. You will work, you will work. Didn't change on my little mini screen. Might be me being blind, truth be told.
I was going to say, Wendy, I remember when Wendy popped by, she said that titanium one, I think, is her takeaway one. She really...
Titanium's gorgeous,
titanium
isn't it?
one,
They're
yeah.
all lovely though. I don't know how you're going to choose. This isn't a quiz. This isn't a winner prize kind of question. But out of pure nosiness, tell us in the comments, have you got your eye on a colour already? Are you following Wendy? Is titanium your way forward? Or do you have a different colour in mind that you're going, I need a bit of that? Because I might ask you again later if I remember, because after we've looked at the samples, you might have changed your mind. We'll have to have a little look-see, see what we come up with. Okay then, so we haven't overly been very cloak and dagger about tonight's reveal. The evidence has been very in sight. If we were hiding UFOs, we'd probably not get away with it for very long. We're not very good at the trickery bit of life, are we, Pete? We've kind of made it pretty evident what's coming this evening. So you might already be here because you have a sneaky suspicion. You might have seen the Hobby Maker schedule. You might have seen the little emoji we put on this evening's live announcement. If you've missed all of this, then you two are kind of like me. You're probably not very good at the traitors or murder mysteries in general, because everything just goes straight past you and we miss it. That's me all over. But we are, of course, this evening announcing the arrival of our brand new diamond collection. Now, feast your eyes on this for a die set. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Isn't this a bit yummy? This is our first diamond set. Now I'm going to try and show you the actual dies as we go through these, because I think the dies are nicer than seeing them in packets. This is your diamond set. The recommended retail price for this set, if you can't see on the bottom of the post-it, $22.99. Now, when you look at how many bits and pieces of metal you are getting in there, that's a silly, silly, silly price, because we are giving you the corners 4 times. So straight away, we have got 16 dies located within the corners. Then we go on to your main diamond aspect, and we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 different layers. 12 different ways that we can take these and build them up, whether we're going to build them as we have here on the front of our display board, or whether we're going to use them to cut frames, or of course cut layers with them. The options truly are endless with an idea like this. And what I absolutely love about diamonds, and I'm going to start bringing in some samples as we go through some of these, is how well you can piece them back together and how well you can make up backgrounds. You know I'm obsessed with tiling. I've confessed this before, whether it is die cutting squares, whether it is bringing you the tile collection of stamps, the tile collection of dies. I just have this thing about putting things back together. And when I see this card created by Diane, I was blown away. This is giving me retro tiling to its absolute ultimateness. And you can see that she has cut each one of these, pieced them back together, and then layered over the top these white ones as well, and then built the frame up. And this flower, that's new too. That's coming. I promise I'll stop waffling and I'll take you through them all and you'll see them soon. Then, moving on, we've got a couple here and I want to share these with you. I'm not going to share all of the samples with you right away, but I am going to share a couple with you. These two are done by Emma on our DT. Now, you know Emma, she's the lovely lady that does all the videos for us. So you'll get to see this in video format soon. But what she's done for this card is she's made a lovely background. She's then taken the diamonds, she's cut them all out, and she's pieced them back together on foam pads to give them a little bit of a lattice effect. The bit that she's cut them out from is this bit here, where she has created her very own lattice, to which she is then placed onto black card to give 2 for the price of 1. Don't we like that? It's a bit cheeky, isn't it? 2 for the price of 1. We like that. So I'll show you some more samples of those shortly. But those are your plain diamonds. Recommended retail price $22.99. And I can't remember how many was in there. 26, I believe. Then we will move on and we will show you these ones. So you know us, if we do a nesting shape, we don't just stop at one, do we? We give you every option we possibly can. So this one is the fluted diamonds. Fluted and large what on my post-it? Did you run out of room? I've just got fluted and large.
Did you? Oh,
Fluted and large.
I'm in trouble now.
Fluted and large what?
Large dash, maybe.
Large dash or large stitch?
Could be a stitch.
Talk about set me up, honestly. My goodness. Let's see if we can find you a board.
Emma's in the building tonight, so I'm going to give myself, is that a thing? Give myself a star, basically.
I don't know if the star's what's needed.
No, I think the sack.
I don't even know if we're going to stop there. Okay, so getting back out of marriage guidance and looking at these as we should be. So these are the dies that come to you, and I know you've seen me talk about this before, but what happens here if you've not seen them, because it's important we talk to you, just in case you're brand new, you've never seen one of our products, we have to explain it all, just in case. So with our nesting dies, we bring you the nesting die, you see that with the plain one. This is, of course, that main element. This is the fluted ones. What we then bring you is the stitch element separate. So a lot of die brands would attach that stitch element inside that die. So you are, and it's not a bad thing, it's not a good thing. We go back a bit earlier, like we did with the pearl card, with the bonuses of white core versus coloured core. It's not a bad or a good thing to necessarily have them individually separate or together. It's just how I wanted to do mine, because I feel that there is bonuses to having them separate. And I'll show you that on the board in a second. One of the biggest bonuses is it means that this large stitch that's running through this, or large dash that's running through this, we can take this and we can put it back. Let me just get my board back because I hid it. We can take these dashes and we can go to our plain ones and we can bring in the plain and we can put that on the inside of the plain. It also means, and this is kind of what I'll show you more with the boards, that if we don't want to use the fluted pieces and we just want to go ahead and we want to hook out all of these stitches, or as many as we want, we can put them onto the inside of that shape. Now, whether that is one of our plain ones, or that of course is one of our fluted ones, or spoiler, turn away from the screen at this stage if you don't want to know what's coming next, if it's one of our decal ones, etc. And you're going to get to see all of them. I will show you all of them, but this of course is just a glimpse at how it all interchanges, and it does all interchange all the way throughout. Now again, just like with the plain ones, not only have we bought you the diamond, because they're obviously very much forever, we've also bought you the corners. This collection was nearly called Diamonds Are Forever, and then Pete decided I'd get sued, so we had to change it quickly to just the Diamond Collection. Pete got nervous that we might get a letter.
From old Barbara Broccoli.
Barbara Broccoli. Is that the creator of James Bond?
I believe so. I don't remember her name on there.
It's Amazon that own it now, isn't it? I don't want to be
it?
sued by Amazon.
No,
yeah, they've just bought the rights.
They'd well take us
Millions.
to the cleaners.
They would take us to the cleaners. So our fluted edges, once again, you've got the corner elements, you've got that stitch element also running throughout the corners. So whether you're going for the corner element or the main diamond, you've got that independent stitch again. So when it comes on to seeing what this actually does on a board format, it means we can use the fluted ones on their own. We can nest them up just like so. We can bring them in with that large dash effect, and we can put that in place running through the diamond and of course through the corners. Or we can kind of do what I was trying to show you on that die, which is actually just putting all of those stitch elements and put them in place and send them through, whether that is on a diamond, whether that is on a card blank, whatever it may be. And of course, and I know we're kind of talking in riddles here and you've possibly heard me discuss similar things like this before, but at any point you could bring in the plain squares, diamonds, whatever they may be, and nest that into that and cut that open as a frame instead if you prefer. And you could of course choose that at any stage depending on which one you'd want to. So lots and lots and lots and lots and lots and lots of options as we go through these collections. Now we've already done the plain, we've already done the fluted. Ho, ho, ho. Where do we go next? Let's go for the decals, shall we? So these are the ones of the decals, and exactly the same as before. We have got your decal edges. You have then this time got a small stitch, the original stitch, the OG of a stitch, if you will, because as we've created more sets, we've managed to fit in more sizes of stitching. But this, of course, is the original one. And once again, just like before, if we bring in the board, you can see that you can use them on their own without that stitch in place. You can, of course, bring that stitch in if you wish to, or of course you can use that stitch just in place in these boards. And of course, don't forget, that stitch can be used in the plain, it can be used in the fluted, and of course it can be used in the next one we're going to be looking at as well, which, let's go for the postage. So the postage, once again, all of these $22.99. Basically, they're all the same size, they're all the same value, they literally are all the same price point. And I'm going to be honest with you, I don't know how Pete's managed to do these at $22.99 when you actually look at not only how many cuts are here, but the size of the sheet of metal that they've been cut from. Even if I bring them in really, really tightly, we can see, and I'm going to give you a measurement because I haven't chatted measurements, and I'm sure somebody's going to ask, rightly so. So let's give you a bit of an idea. Your largest one is about 5¼ inches, right the way up to 8 inches. But of course, when we go down to the smallest, we are looking, well, let's go the same way as we did before, 1¼ by just over 2. So you've really got every possible place you can go with these. But size-wise, we're looking at 8 inches by 5 inches. Now I would challenge you to go and find a 5x8 die set for $22.99 with a reputable brand. That's kind of silly, actually, I think, to be honest with you, Peter, let alone the fact in that set there is, I don't know, I've lost count, 1, 2, 3, 4, 8, 12, 16 dies plus your middle bit, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 28 in that one then. That's bonkers.
Do I get a naughty star?
I think you should. Well, no, you never get a naughty star because it means that you've given better value to the customer, and that is actually the biggest part of our ethos. So never a problem. I prefer we're an inexpensive brand than an expensive brand, but it does mean that it's to my mind, they're a good price. But as always, let us know in the comments what you think. Here we go next on to our scalloped and our pierced. Now I'll give you a little disclaimer here. These are by far always the most popular, scalloped and pierced. These ones go the first of any sets whenever we do these. If you are new to us, if you have not seen us before, if you do not know anything about us, you might not know this. This is not a new concept. We have done this set in the same 5 sets, the fluted, the dash, all of them bits, all of what we've waffled through, but we've done these in diamonds, we've done them in ovals, we've done them in rectangles, squares, circles, octagons, hearts, tags, and I think that might be it, something along them lines. And we do this intentionally because it means you can coordinate. So I'm going to jump ahead a bit actually to what I'm going to demo for you later, if I ever stop waffling and show you different bits. But it means that, like, if I dig in here and we have, there we go, if we have our fluted edge and we say, well, actually, that's the next size up, we don't want that one. If we have our fluted edge and we say, well, we're going to bring in a pierced line and we're going to put that onto the inside of it, that'll fit nicely. And then we go, well, actually, we're going to add in a pierced line from the diamonds, but we then want to add in a fluted edge around it so that coordinates, and we're going to layer this up, or we're going to cut that in. Everything is going to match, everything is going to coordinate, everything goes together perfectly. And then in the middle of that, you might choose to, go in place, honestly. There we go. You might choose to add in an oval or a circle or a heart and have the same fluted and the same pierced running through the different sets. Everything will coordinate for you, everything will match, everything will work. And that's why we keep bringing you new shapes to go into this library. We never believe that we should just bring you a one and done situation, because actually we can elevate your look, elevate the creativity, open up new options to you by bringing you more items in that collection. So that's why we do it, genuinely. I often think sometimes things are kind of done once and then they're forgotten and we move on. But actually, if we bring you a library and kind of explain to you how everything fits together, and the more you collect, the more options you're going to have, it's down to you if you kind of go for it. But it just, to me, opens up a lot more options. Now, I think it was Mary Ellis, and I might have this wrong, Mary. Sorry if I'm quoting you incorrectly. But I think it was Mary Ellis I was chatting to at one of our recent demos. And she said, and I think I'm going to get the right one, she said it's the decal that's my favourite. So I'm working through getting the decal in everything. and then I'm going to start on the next shape or the next edge and the next shape and so on and so forth. And I actually hadn't viewed it in that way before, but that's a really good idea, because then you do build up that library. You can nest all of those together and it match perfectly. But of course, it's up to you which way you go. You might want that interchangeability between the diamonds before you want that interchangeability between the shapes. So we just bring them to you. You choose which way you go. But that gives you an overview of the 5 different versions of those. So just to recap just quickly, I'm sure you'll get sick of me waffling on, but these are your fluted, your deckled, your postage, your scalloped and your plain in your essential diamonds. And then from there, we've got a bit diamond heavy, but I weren't ready to say that was enough of diamonds yet. I've kind of bought you all of these layers to build up on top of. I think we now need to bring you the bits to put on top of them, don't we? We've got the mats and the layers, but we need the actual fancy bits. That was my mindset. So let's take you on to some fancy bits, shall we? This is probably the fanciest of them all. I like this. Let's show you this. This one is our lovely damask pattern, and I'm just going to find the board for it. Uh-oh, Pete's been naughty. I don't know why I'm blaming Pete. It's my fault. I haven't poked out the bits, so ignore the bits. There is a couple of bits in here, but these work in the same idea. So this is damask diamonds. With these ones, we have separate outer edges to go with our corners. So our corners will cut in and stay in, or we can of course use the outside corner to cut that out if we prefer. When we look at that on board form, what Laura's done for us here is she's taken these and she's cut them into the card, so you can see they will stay in place. Here she's brought in the outside edges, trimmed them out. It also then means you've got those edges to go behind them, so you might wish to cut this in one colour and layer it on the top of that. You might wish to do that in a self-adhesive sheet, put glitter through them for instance. Then of course in the middle we've got our lovely diamond pattern, and this damask diamond matches in once again with those double options, or triple options really, of do you want it as a solid, do you want it cut out with that diamond around it, or do you wish to cut it into your cardstock? And of course when we go on to this format, you might want to put one of those fancy rectangles around it, or you might want to put it in a square and give a little bit more room into this area, because of course you've chose where you put these, you've chose where you put that. Or you might prefer to take this, and I'll show you an example of this shortly, hopefully if I remember. I'll try my best to. You might take this and you might multi-cut it, because every single diamond could be multi-cut to make up to whatever size background your machine can handle. I've got an A4 machine. I ended up with quite a big ability to go across an A4 sheet. Not all of it, but quite a fair bit of it to do that tile cutting with. It's just a different option. And I resisted using these as the sides to my diamonds, but I could have, and that would have probably meant I could have done the whole sheet if I wanted to. So recommended retail price for that set, $19.99. And as you can see with this one, we are getting 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 dies. 10 dies in that set. Now, we couldn't just give you one focal point to go with your diamonds, so let me bring in the next one. Now, these are very on trend. Very, very, very on trend. This is kind of our slatted diamond, to which I'm trying to see if I've got it on a board. I have got it on a board, or you're going to get a sneaky at something that's coming up. We've called it our striped diamond. I'm going to try and hold that down there so you can just see that bit. So I'll bring back the rest of the board in a minute. So this is our striped diamond. This works exactly the same as before. So you've got your outside edge, you've got your main panel, and then we've got the same again for all 4 corners. Now, as I say, these are very on trend. We've done them in a couple of different shapes. I've seen a few other brands doing different shapes. I haven't seen anyone doing diamonds, but there's a lot we can do with these. We can paper piece back within them. We can stick a self-adhesive sheet under them, infill them with glitter. We can, of course, treat them like Laura has here for this board and do them all together with this lovely diamond running through it. Or, of course, we can do them as separates. The choices really are, again, yours. There's lots and lots of scope for this. This could be a really fun background for just about any occasion, season, reason, theme, colour, whatever you want it to be. Very generalised background and a really fun one to work with. You can also do your eclipse techniques where you print 2 pictures or have 2 pictures and put one on top of the other and kind of let the picture run through underneath. That would be very good with our Scrap Boys papers, for instance. Then we move on from there. And we're going to change gear ever so slightly because we are bringing in this one. This one is our beautiful floral panel. Let me see if I can find that for you. The Sunflower Diamond. Now again, $19.99 is your recommended price, but you've already seen them, haven't you? You've seen them. You're on it. You know what's coming. We have the Sunflower die set, which is $14.99. that coordinates with our diamond. So this comes separately, the bottom half of the board. That's your top bit, same as the others, outside edges separate, diamond edges separate, panels to cut in this beautiful fretwork with these sunflowers in place. But if you want to, you can purchase the separate sunflower die set, which of course layers perfectly on top of the corners and on top of the diamond if you would like to build these up. Again, you've seen us do this kind of concept before. We've brought you back in dies for flowers that build up. You can use them individually, you can use them together. The choice is completely yours. The sunflower die set is $14.99. The sunflower diamond is $19.99. This is the board for the sunflower diamond, and I'm going to give this a little lift up in the air so you can hopefully see it. Where that sunflower is cut out, not only will it cut, it will deboss. So if you like your gilding waxes, your polishes, your inks, you're going to be able to go in and highlight the texture that is within that die cut already. If you prefer, then of course you can cut out the matching die and bring that in and start layering that up on top if you wish to. And you will find not only do you have the exact same size to go over the top, you have the next size down or the next style down, so you can really do some great layering techniques. Then of course you've got the centres, oh, if I can hold on to them, you've got the centres to go into both sizes of the sunflower, and you've got a stem if you wish to use the sunflower as a traditional sunflower, and you've got the leaves to go with it as well for both sizes. So again, trying to give you scope to not only build up on top of these, but to be able to use them independently. Then I'm going to just do the last couple of boards, and then I promise you I'm going to bombard you with samples, because we have got hundreds of them. This of course is your board with your flowers, so this is just the sunflower. And if we give that a little wiggle once again, hopefully if we catch it in the light right, you're going to see the beautiful deboss work. There's once again running across those flowers and across those leaves to give you beautiful detail every time you cut them out. Then on to our last diamond. Diamond, what have we called this one? Honeycomb diamond, of course it is, honeycomb diamond. And this one is $19.99, and it is the penultimate item I'm going to tease you with this evening. Now this one again, just like before, separate outside edges to go with each of the corners, and of course that separate outside edge to go with our main diamond. Now you might be looking at this collection and thinking, well, there's a bit of a summery theme, isn't there? Got that beautiful sunflower going on. There's a little cheeky honeycomb going on. I know what I need to go with this set. I know what's missing. I need a bee. Do not fear. We have got you covered. We have got bees aplenty. So this is one of our stamp and die sets. So of course this means, and let me find my right board for this. On this board here at the bottom, you will see all of the dies that coordinate with the stamps. And if I dig in a little bit here, I can bring you in one of the stamp sets to share with you. So this is of course a DL stamp set with all of the components on it that you're going to need, and then the matching dies to come in and match up and cut those out. But of course, not only do we have the matching dies for the main elements, wherever possible I've fitted in a few extra bits and pieces. So you will find you've got a stamp for happy birthday, be happy, hi, thinking of you, and just buzzing by to say. Just trying to get that little hexagon out of the way. Got a little pink hexagon that's got contaminated in my packaging, and you'll also find you've got some little bees to of course pop around your nest if that's where you'd like to pop them, to help you build up your scenes. So with these, if we go back to the board, this is what this is going to look like, and the recommended retail price for this set is $19.99. Now whether you choose to of course cut them out with the dies, or whether you choose to just stamp them as you would ordinary stamps, is of course completely up to you, or you might choose to do a little bit of both. These layered in the front of that stamped in the background could really add some depth and dimension, and I'll show you that with some samples. But that completes all of the newness, all of the new goodies that we're going to tease you with, and now I'll share with you lots of samples. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to let us know and Pete will read them through for you. But we'll start off, shall we? Let's go back to the very beginning and see what we can start off with. Now, while I'm finding these, Pete, any questions so far?
Well, Beth Ann, hi Beth Ann, hopefully well. She reckons that's her skint for the month now.
Sorry, Beth Ann.
Diane
It's a bit
does
yummy,
say it's
isn't it?
worth it though.
It's a bit yummy. It's a lovely collection, and honestly, the hours of fun you are going to have for this, and the endless options, it's just off the charts, and you're going to see that now. But when you look across these examples that the DT have done, mind-blowing, and the directions they've gone off in and the styles they've done, you might be sat there already thinking, oh, well, if he ever stops waffling and shows me, we'll see. But I know when I see this as my kind of first samples come through, I sat there with one idea of it where I designed to take it, and then suddenly these different ideas open and you kind of go off on tangents. And I think the DT have done very similar. I might be wrong, but let's have a look, shall we? So if we start off by looking at samples for this set, and I'm going to try and be fair and share with you a few of everybody's. So this is one that Sharon's done, just a little bit of masking and inking in the background, bringing in those stamps to build up that beautiful scene. Didn't even use the dies, didn't need to. Built that beautiful little image without having to have those in place. Here's one Wendy's done. Now Wendy's kind of gone down the idea of inchies, which is where you take an image, you stamp it, and then you cut it up and you place it back together. But instead of doing that, she's of course used our diamonds, and she's put our diamonds back on top of more nesting diamonds. That works really, really well. Not only has she used the stamps, she's also brought in the dies to cut out the little foliagey floral pieces at the bottom, and she's added happy birthday and just buzzing by to stay up in the top there. Now this one's done by Laura, and I thought this was very, very elegant. That brown sat with that cream and gold. Very, very delicious. I really like that, very extravagant and expensive looking. Then Sharon is back with a very cool little creation. We've got a little booklet this time, and on the front you can see that this idea of layering throughout our layering dies works so nicely. Sharon's of course gone for the plain diamonds, and she's used the scallop diamonds below them, but she's layered that on top of the fluted squares. Now when we open this out, not only do we see bees running through the actual packaging or through the folder, you will also find that you have got envelopes and cards all stamped, looking absolutely beautiful, that sits within each of these little pockets. And you will also see that she's used the scallop squares or rectangles maybe to make the belly bands to hold these in place, or the pocket bands to hold them in place. Now you know I've gone on about these before. I absolutely adore this idea of giving handmade cards to recipients so they can then give the joy of giving a handmade. And these little booklets, this might be a teacher's gift, it might be for the postman, it might be for the hairdresser on their birthday, it might be somebody that you want to show that you care, but you don't necessarily want to spend a fortune, but you want to give them something that they're going to really enjoy and love. And I think this is a really lovely gift. I would be delighted if somebody bought that for me for my birthday, and I then had all of these little cards that I could use and send out throughout the year. I just think it's lovely. Or maybe you're making to sell. Of course you're welcome to make and sell with our products, and it might be that that's going to be the thing that's on your stall that's going to set you apart, is you're not just selling a card, you're selling the gift of giving handmade. Then this is rather cool. This is a little diamond card, and it's actually done in a fold way that I didn't predict. This one's done by Laura, and I've seen a couple and I've done a couple where they fold upwards that way for the easel, but this is actually a really nice idea because that stands so beautifully, so prominently, and actually is just really, I really genuinely like it. I think it's a lovely idea. Now again, you could put more underneath it, you could make a little box to stand that on top of if you wanted to. It could have more layers to it, you could join 2 or 3 of these together if you wanted. You could do smaller easels coming off of the side of it. So as a construction, a great starting point for those of us who like to do bigger, but actually a really cool card at its core. Really lovely design. Then this is one done by Sharon. Sharon has created a little like tri-panel card. I never know what you call these, so that was a bit of a guess there, I'm afraid. But a very cool idea, and bringing in those bees to pop onto each of the panels works really nicely. And of course, adding the diamonds works a treat too. Another one here by Sharon. Sharon's done a little buzzing background with lots of hives in there, and a couple of hives, and then the bees, and then of course onto the little diamond on the front. Then this is a cool one. This one is done by Sharon as well. Oh, we seem to have hit Sharon's jackpot here, haven't we? So Sharon's done a waterfall card and then added the diamonds running throughout them, and then added our dragonflies onto them, and of course our sunflowers in the corners. And she's actually treated the sunflowers as like a proper flower as such. She's used the stems and she's used the leaves to go with it, which works nicely. Then what have we got next? This one's lovely. This is from Ian. Ian's gone for more of a hexagonal card and added in, of course, the bees to the background, added in some of the tree, and then, of course, the hive being added onto it. And he's cut that out and he's actually scored that to add the ridges round of the hive, and then added a little black in the middle. So that's a really nice idea. You don't have to use the stamp and the die together if you don't want to. You might just choose to use the die on its own as much as use the stamp on its own. Now this is gorgeous, again by Ian. You can see he's been on a bit of an octagon style for this release, And it works so nicely, doesn't it? It really does tie this collection together. And the way he's got the little bee coming in with the just buzzing by to say, and it works so nicely having them looking in the two directions, doesn't it? Again, with that lovely branch coming in to support our beehive. Then Ian once again, this time bringing in the flowers, adding the flowers down the bottom, bringing in the bees on top and adding the thinking of you on top of that. This is one I've done, and this is our kind of diamond-esque easel. This time I've stamped on the top diamond and I've misted over the top of it with our mica mist in white. And then on the bottom I've used the honeycomb, and then I've just layered it on some of our other easels, some of our other plain diamonds to give it more structure and depth, and that little black shadow that's coming through from underneath it. And then of course my easel element stands within the honeycomb, so I can kind of choose where I want that to stand, depending on how prominent I want that diamond at the front to be standing up. Now be prepared to have your socks blown off if you are wearing socks. Let's get these out of the way while I bring this one in. This, when I opened the box, I literally gasped out loud. I absolutely adore this. Look how beautiful this creation is. This, of course, is done by Diane on our DT, and she loves doing these kind of octagon boxes. She's done a couple of them for us, and every time they are breathtaking. Around the edge of this one, of course, we can see those flowers coming in. When we go back up to the top here, we've got the hive, we have got the tree, and we have got the bees. Isn't that absolutely beautiful? Even on the inside, she's added Be Happy running all the way around it. Isn't that spectacular? That is a gift in itself. I would genuinely keep that on my coffee table. I think that would be at home just as a little display box that maybe I keep my secret sweets and the remote in, maybe. I don't know, something along them lines. But to me, this is a box, not just for giving, a box for life. I thought it was stunning, spectacular. Okay, a couple of other little bits to share with you. This is lovely. So Christine, you know our lovely Christine. She's kind of what we call our princess of A6. She is back today with lots of inspiration for you, and you're going to see lots of these kind of tiled back together triangular diamondy effects that she has created, and I am just here for them. I think they are so much fun and such a great idea, and you can see this time she's stamped in white over the top using our little floral element going across the top of those. I thought that was very cool. And then another one from Diane. We have another little box to share with you before we move on to the next design, the next product. So this time we've got our box set up. On the top here we've got our stitching coming in, we've got our plain diamonds, we've got our decal diamonds, we've got the just buzzing by to say stamp with the little bee on the edge. Around all of the edges we have got little glittery bees which look really, really cute. When we dig into the inside, we have another one of these sets, and I adore these. I mentioned I adore these, I truly do. So this time we've got the honeycomb going through the back, we've got the bee added to the top. On this one we've got our flowers, we've got our decal diamonds. As you can see, the perfect little set. And every one of them come in with a stamped envelope to match in beautifully. Again, we go back in a circle. I know I've said it once already, but giving the gift of giving to me makes this such an elegant and luxurious gift, and it just shows you care. It shows that you really love what you do. It shows that you're giving that gift on to somebody else. Maybe you've got somebody who isn't a crafter, who likes the idea of handmade but doesn't quite know where to begin and doesn't have the time but loves to give handmade. This again is, to me, something that's truly luxurious and very, very fun to give, and really fun to make too, because of course from our side it's about enjoying what we're creating. And I don't know about you guys, but I would be really chuffed to have made that little box set and have that on my stall, on my stand, or give that as a gift to the hairdresser, to the postman, to somebody that I really care for, that I wanted to get a little gift for. Okay, moving on, let's go to that damask diamond, shall we? So we're back with Diane for a second. This is another one of her box creations. On the top here we've got that damask diamond coming in. We've got the corners being cut into the squares, because don't forget, we choose where we put them. We choose what we cut them into. So she's brought in our decal squares and she's put the four corners into them areas and cut them out. The You Are So Special, these will be on Hobby Maker this week as well. So this is an older mini expression. It's one of the layered mini expressions, but they will be on the shows on Hobby Maker. So will my butterfly. This is the first time this butterfly has been back to air for a very long time, but it will be available on Hobby Maker this week. When we dig into the inside of this, have a little look at this. This is a bit ooey-ary. Look at that for a card. So what Diane has done is she's made a little collapsible pillar-esque top here. You don't have to collapse it down because it's in a box, but if you was worried about postage, it can collapse. She's then used the corner elements as these really cool Art Deco shapes coming off the sides. She's used our backing plate. Now this is one of the DL dies, again going to be available on the shows this week, but over the top of it she's filled in that gap with a little diamond frame cut from the plain diamonds. So it really makes that pop, that area work, doesn't it? It ties it together. On the front here she's used the same panel as you can see in the background, but this time with glitter, this time left plain. On the top of it she's added on her scallop diamond. On top of that she's matched in that plain one to coordinate with the one back here. Continuing on, she's added on a scallop circle to match in with the scalloped areas of the diamonds. It all just works, doesn't it? And this is what I mean about building those collections and building those collections out so that you can build them up together. It just matches, it coordinates, it works. And again, what a set to be able to send, box and card, both coordinating perfectly. So let's have a little look at our next project, shall we? Our next piece of this puzzle. So we're going to move on and we're going to have a little look at this stunning blue and white card, and this one again done by Diane. Diane this time has used our brand new sunflower. She's placed that around the edge of the heart. She placed it around the top of the heart. She's cut her diamond, the damask diamond, into the middle of the heart. She's used the matching corners as well. She's added in the violin and the sentiment. Again, the violin will be on our shows this week for you too, but it is one of our older designs, so you can check out your stockists for that as well. Then we've got one from Emma. Now Emma is ahead of the game. She's beautifully ahead of the game. So she has filmed some videos for you. So there will be more inspiration with this collection coming up. But not only has she filmed them, they are ready to rumble and they will be heading out very, very soon. So that means she had a chance to post up her samples to us. So we've got them to tease you with this evening. And that's really appreciated. So thank you, Emma. And thank you for all the incredible work you do for our videos. Now what she's done here is she's of course created a diamond from the corners. How cool is that? And it just shows how these corner elements can of course be built up into much larger patchwork backgrounds if that's what you would like to do with them. Then we're going to move on to this one, another one from Emma, same kind of design obviously, sticking with that damask diamond, but very different story. And I like how she's gone for the black tones running through these. We've got that black card at the back. We've got our lovely purple and teal kind of diamonds coming in and our corners matched again. And this is why we give you the separate outside edges, because it means that you can cut those out of self-adhesive sheets, put our die cuts onto the top of them and infill with glitter, just like Emma has. Again, I'm sure you'll see this in a video format. You'll also spot that Emma has been using some of our pearl card. We managed to catch Emma before she got too far in advance of these and get her some of this pearl card to play with. So that purple is coming for you beautifully in that one. Then we go back to our princess of A6, our lovely Christine. Now Christine has been very creative, and this is what I love with Christine, because as she sticks to this A6 kind of footprint to work with, if the dies are a bit bigger, it doesn't matter. She makes them work, she brings them in, she focuses in on them, she trims them to where she wants them to be, and it looks spectacular. So you can see the four corners coming into play, you can see the postage diamonds, the plain diamonds, and then framing just that smaller section from that damask diamond, and it just works, doesn't it? You would never believe that that was a different die set, or it wasn't a different die set. It just looks beautiful to have come from this set, and the You Are Too Kind, or You're Too Kind, is again one that you're going to see on the show this week as well. Then a couple more. Christine's this time used the damask diamond to be a stencil and gone through it with our texture paste to create this stunning background, and then added on our butterfly that's coming up. Then on this one, she's gone for the Easter ideas, of course using Sue's recent Easter sentiment and Easter nesting egg dies, but cut open the aperture and actually put inside it our lovely damask diamond, because just because they start life as a diamond doesn't mean that's where they have to stay. Now Ian, this is very opulent. I love my blues, and Ian has gone to town with shades of blues and silver to create this beautiful card. Again, bringing in the corners and of course that main focal, adding in the Enjoy Your Day on the top there from one of the wordy sheets, and finishing it off with lots of crystals running around that diamond. It just works beautifully. So of course we've got plain elements, we've got our damask elements, we've got our glitter all coming into play. Ian this time has used the same set, and this is what I love about our DT, two completely different creations. This time using the same set, sticking to just white on white for the corners and the main panel, and then using those as a platform to build up on top of, bringing in some of our different flowers from previous collections, as well as some of our twiddles, and of course our violin, and adding all of that onto that central diamond. It's heavy, but heavy in a really good way. And the colour palette he's gone with is so opulent. That beautiful gold, ivory, and kind of walnutty, warm brown that's been used in the base layer. Very, 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 very expensive looking. Then moving on, we've got one from Laura. Laura has been very clever because of this time what she has done is she has used her damask diamond, she's put it on top of the fluted diamond. She then brought in the stitches from the corners, but instead of cutting them out or using any of the edges with them, she's simply just cut them into her card. So we can see them running through on the inside as well, but they look very elegant, they look very posh, they look very nice. And it shows you how you can take a store-bought card blank and add that extra to it. Right the way from the base layer. Doesn't always have to be about what we're putting on top of it. Why not alter it before we begin? This butterfly, once again, is going to be one of the ones that you will see featuring on the Hobby Maker shows on Thursday, along with the You Are So Special and the dragonflies in the corner. Then we move on to this one done by Sharon, and Sharon has really gone to town with the whites, the blues and the greys, which look lovely. She's added in our previous flower, and she's also added in one of our dies to duck flourishes, along with a Your Two kind across the top and a little cheeky ribbon down the side. Very elegant, very nice. Sticking with the white and blue theme, let's bring this one in. This one again done by Laura, and Laura has stuck to those beautiful fluted edge corners. And then this time she's nested in the damask corner. So again, taking the different corners out, using them with different corners, what it's all about. In the background, she has stamped the music stamp, and then she's layered on the top here fluted diamonds with our plain diamonds done in glitter, and then the damask panel being cut into the fluted diamonds. Around the edges, she's used some of our different flowers and foliage, and of course added on the violin and the You're So Special again on the top. Then another beautiful one, this one done by Wendy. You can see this damask has lent itself very nicely to the white and blue colour scheme I absolutely adore personally. This is lovely, it kind of gives me playing card vibes, and it might be because of something else I'll share with you later, it's kind of got that in my head. But I think that looks so much like the diamonds card, I don't know why, it's just in my head I'm sure. But it's of course the fluted diamond, coming in once again with the damask one put on the inside of it. In the corners we've got the same damask corners but using the plain outside edges, and this is built up on top of the scalloped tag. Just looks really lovely, doesn't it? The You Are So Special once again will be available on the shows this week. Then another one from Sharon. Sharon's done some stamping with that same stamp set, our brand new B stamp set, to make the backing panels, added the diamond coming off of the edge, and added on some dragonflies, very classy. Then another one from Wendy. Wendy's gone all in the greens this time, and she has tiled her background cutting diamonds and putting them back together over some silver mirror cards. That lovely silver shines through. She then added on that damask panel on the top here with the postage diamond behind it, and new sunflowers, and of course that violin coming in on the side. And then the last one here I wanted to share with you from the damask set is this one done by Diane. Now, to be honest with you, I could have put this into just about any pile because it's kind of got elements of everything coming in together, and I adore this because it's very patchwork-esque. But if I lift this up so you can see it slightly better, you will see that Diane has chose to emboss the dies instead of cut them. So we've got the honeycomb, we've got the damask panels coming through on these. On the other ones, she's stamped on them and paper pieced them back together. She's done multiple cuts using the scalloped and the pierced edges, but it just works, doesn't it? And this embossing with them really gives that fabricy feel. And then of course on the top of diamond, she has added on one of the sunflowers from the new dies, and of course the Your Two kind, which is one of the dies that's coming up on this weekend shows as well. Said weekend again, not weekend, Thursday. I don't know why in my head I have it down as being on Saturday, and I can tell you why. Oh why, it's because Saturday we're doing a demo day at the wonderful world of Gwen's store, which is called the Stamp Pad, and it's in Saddleworth. If you're coming to that, do let us know in the comments. Very excited to see lots of you attending. I know that those of you are going to be coming to it, and we can't wait to see you. If you've not heard about this, check out the event section on the Creative Expressions page, or I do believe at 4 o'clock today, there was a video from Gwen herself telling you more about it. I haven't checked to see if that's gone up. Have you seen if it's gone up? I know Tracy said it was going up today at 4.
No, I haven't checked, but it was all scheduled, I believe.
I do believe it's gone up at 4 o'clock today, but it's a lovely video from Gwen explaining her event to you all. But basically, in short, it's at her, well, it's not at her store, it's across the road in the town hall, village hall, church hall, a hall opposite Gwen's shop. Let's stick to what we know, a hall opposite Gwen's shop. You can pop onto the Stamppad website to book tickets to attend. It's £5 if I remember rightly, but when you're in, it's going to give you entry, of course, to lots of demonstrators. There is myself, Francoise, Gwen. Then we have got lots of talented people, haven't we? We've got Sharon Curtis, who's going to be playing with some Woodware stamps as well, but her main focus is Evelyn and Sage, her very own journaling brand. Also, Joe Rice is there from Lavinia, so showing you lots of techniques with Lavinia stamps. And I had it a second ago, Carla Bagshaw is there with Cut by Hand, showing you how to do her quilling. Have I got everybody? Carla, Sharon, Joe Rice, Francoise, me and Gwen.
I'll be shot if we've forgotten.
I'm pretty sure I've got us all. I'm pretty sure I've got us all. Memory like a sieve, but I'm pretty... Gwen, if you're with us, tell me in the comments if I've forgot anybody. Or if you've got a link, pop the link in the comments and we will, of course, share that as well. And if you're not here, Gwen, actually thinking about it, Pete, you might be able to get us a link for the Stamppad website. And pop that in the comments if you can, if you don't mind. But we'd love to see you. It's Saturday from 10 till 4. £5 entry. There are make and takes, but the make and takes are already sold out, I know. So I know lots of you are coming to attend the make and takes. But it will be a genuine pleasure to see you all. Okay, shall we move on to the next one? Is there any questions so far? I feel like I've waffled an awful lot and you've said nothing.
I just can't get a word in edgeways, can I? Well, I'm getting a look. Sue says she wished she lived nearer. But where are we? Just ask if you can show the bee set again, please.
This is what we're up against. How long ago did you ever ask for the bees, Pete? I'm sensing through your endless scrolling that this was a while ago.
No, very much now.
Are you sure?
Sue might have joined us late.
It's not Sue that's the problem.
It's normally
is
me
it
that's
Sue?
the problem.
It's not Sue. Sue, you're allowed to join us late. That isn't a problem. It's the question reader. Okay, so this is the set for the bees. There is matching dies to cut out these main components. Recommended retail price $19.99. You receive a DL set of stamps, and as you can see, there's lots of bits in there, not just the bits that match the dies. There is just buzzing by to say happy birthday, be happy, thinking of you, hi, as well as a little set of bees to go with it as well. All right, you'll see lots more of these used on the examples coming up, but that'll give you an overview of that set. And once again, $19.99 is your recommended retail price for that one. While we're chatting bees, shall we look at some inspiration to go with the honeycomb diamond? Because of course I feel these go together very, very well. So let's start off with this one from Christine. Again, back to a nice diddy little card, an A6 again. And this time she has used the corners to make up this little grid work running through it, which does look like the little things you get in the bee things, doesn't it, Pete? What do they call them? The things when they're going into a beehive. The little... the honeycomby bits that they put all the...
hive bits?
The trays. Do you know what I'm on about? Am I on my own
I don't know
here?
what their name is. I've got visions of you in a little smoky mask thing that they come to hustle the bees out.
I don't think so.
Trying to get them trays out, can you imagine?
I don't think so. Okay, we're lost in a bit, aren't we? Let's give credit to the creators. This one is Diane. Again, you've got sunflowers across the top, stacked diamonds in the middle, corners being cut into the postage rectangles. This one is from Emma. Emma has chose to keep some of the pieces within her die, so she's paper pieced them back in and glued them in place. Can't wait to see the video for that, because I know she'll have some nifty tricks for us on how she's created that. But doesn't it work lovely having those extra pieces put back in place? Then we move on to Ian. Ian, this is gorgeous. I'm in love with this. This again, using that honeycomb diamond set with the corners being put back in place. The landscape diamond being put into the centre with the bee happy on it. Bees coming throughout. And then down here he's used some glossiness to make this little drip of honey. Doesn't that look good? I really like that little extra detail being added onto here, but it's the dimension I love. Such a regal card. Isn't that gorgeous? So prominent, so rich. I love that. And then going off on a completely different tangent, again from Ian, a nice rainbow background to go behind this one instead. And it just shows how a honeycomb can come in for all sorts of styles and reasons and occasions, and it just works. Then here's one I've done, and I've used my honeycomb in the middle of one of the scalloped pierced rectangles, and then I've built up on the top with a scalloped pierced diamond. I've added your two kind and brought in the sunflowers to go on the edge. Very similar idea, again, by me, and you're going to see lots of the pearl card coming through on these as well. But this time I've gone for a big cosmos flower, which again is on the shows this week, as well as this lovely twiddly bit, which I can never remember what the name is, so we're just going to stick to twiddly bit. But it's a die that cuts all of these twiddles out. Kind of left this one quite plain, felt I should have added more to it, but kind of liked it relatively plain. If you've got a small sentiment, you might wish to add it on the middle. You might want to put a little dragonfly, butterfly, something. I don't know, I might add to it by the time you see it again, but I kind of liked it as it was. Then we move on to Sharon. Sharon's brought back in the honeycomb and of course brought in the bees and decorated around it. Another one here by Wendy. Wendy has made a very cool gatefold card with a diamond opening and then placed inside it that honeycomb element and then built up the stamps and dies around it. Very, very effective. Another one from Wendy using that honeycomb again with the middle diamond and the corners, adding the sunflowers around the edges, adding in the sayings and of course the bees. Sharon's gone for making the sunflower the centre of this one, but adding in that honeycomb element down the sides. And of course the sunflower using the stem as well as the leaves. And then another easel, and this one's very lovely. This one's done by Laura, and I'm going to try and hold it so you can see it okay. But this time we've gone for a Miri card gold honeycomb on top and bottom. We have gone for a portrait easel card, which looks very yummy. She's brought in the flowers. We'll come back. I was pushing the boundaries a little bit there. Not many cards are supposed to be flipped vertically and still stay standing. On the front there, she has, of course, built up the sunflowers. She's brought in the little bees. She's added on a little expression on the top there as well. All works very, very beautifully, doesn't it? Okay, moving on. I promise we'll try and fit in some demos before we leave you in peace as well. So I need to speed up a little bit, don't I? But we have only got a couple more to go through, I believe. So we're going to look at this one next. This is the sunflower panel. So this one, if you have just joined us, let's see if we can show you this. This is the panel that we are looking at, the diamond in question. So it has that lovely landing spot in the middle for you to build up on top of. And then we have that matching die set of our sunflower, and I'll try and show you some inspiration with just this in a second, but at this stage you're going to see lots of these being built up on top of those ones as well. So if we look to this one done by Diane, she's used our beautiful textured paper. She's brought in the corners from the sunflower to make these edges. She's used the main panel in the center here. She's used our DL panel, which again will be on the shows come Thursday, and then on top of that you will see she's used the deckled stitch diamonds underneath her sunflower panel, and then coordinated that with the same decal stitch rectangles being used throughout the layers. It just works, doesn't it? Doesn't that look beautiful? That's a happy card, isn't it? And of course, sentiment being love you mum, you're simply the best, and Mother's Day is coming up this Sunday. Then we move on to another one from Christine. Talk about chalk and cheese regarding size. We really do cater for every kind of style and area that we can with our DT, and that's what we love about them. They're such a talented bunch. This time, Christine, instead of using the diamond as a diamond, she's used it as kind of a swish running across the middle of her card. And doesn't it work well? Building up on top of that sunflower, not only with the flower, but bringing in the stems and the leaves as well, just works really nicely. And although, of course, this panel does have in the centre of it a sunflower, and you can very much see that and use that and build that if you want to, you could pop any flower over the top of that. You could put a circle sentiment over that. You could bring in a diamond, a plain diamond, a scallop diamond, or whatever you wanted and put that over the top and just keep this lovely scrolly kind of background to it instead if you wanted to. So yes, it's very much designed as a sunflower, but it certainly doesn't have to be. And I think that this is a really lovely way of showing you how you can really take this off on different ways. Now this card, This is, to me, is absolutely beautiful, but unexpectedly beautiful. If somebody said to me, I'm going to make a card out of green mirri card, gold mirri card, in oodles and oodles and oodles of amounts, I'd go, thinking that's just not going to float my boat. It might float their boat, might float somebody else's, but it wouldn't float my personal boat. I wouldn't have thought. But look at this. Isn't that spectacular? How regal, royal, elegant, luxurious does this look? It has got the most beautiful background in that I believe Diana's created with some texture paste and then adding in some green and some gold embossing powder, I feel, and then heated it to make this beautiful marble-esque background, but then layered it on top of mirri card and then the green mirri card. She's gone over, I believe, with clear texture paste with a brayer to give this beautiful texture to it as well, and then layered the green on top of green backings and then built up the flowers in gold. It's the most OTT extravagant card I think I've seen in a long time, but I absolutely adore it. And I will be honest, I fell asleep halfway through. So if I say this and you think he's lost the plot, it's got nothing to do with it. For some reason, it reminds me of Wicked.
Okay.
Is Wicked gold and green? It's green,
it's
certainly,
green.
isn't it?
Yeah.
But does it remind you of Wicked? Do you get Wicked vibes, or am I out on my own? You'll have to let us know in the comments. Pete kind of nodded, but Pete often nods. Pete just tries to keep me happy, I'm sure, when I go off on my random tangents. But it does give me Wicked vibes in a really good way. Then this one's lovely. Have a little look at this. This one's done by Emma. And Emma's brought in the corners, cut this little swish going down the side of the card, and then added on the flowers running beside it. Doesn't that look good? That looks like it's a striplet die or something along them lines, but no, we've made that out of them 4 extra elements. Now again, one I wouldn't have expected to love, but I adore it. This is done by Ian, and this is full-on unapologetic gold mirri card. I love gold mirri card, but I wouldn't be that brave to leave that much gold exposed, and that's a compliment. You have your limits, don't you? You have your ways you work, but doesn't it look beautiful? I really adore it. It's not too heavy, it's just the right level for me personally, and I absolutely love it. And as I say, I couldn't have done that, and this is why I love our DT, because they show me ways, colours, levels, schemes that I'd never even dream of doing, but they work. Then another one from Ian, bringing in the sections and creating this kind of random background, flowers being added, bees being added, all on top of that really lovely, beautiful brown from the Foundations collection. And then this one I made, and I'm going to be honest, I wasn't too sure if I liked it or not. So you can tell me in the comments if you do or you don't. I don't mind. It's my work. I'm allowed to say that about it without having to look hopefully like I'm searching for attention or approval. It's just being honest. Sometimes I make things I love, sometimes I make things I'm not so sure about. This was one of those. I regretted the green. I love the green. This is our new mint green, but I regretted the green. I don't think I should have done my flower from green. I think that's where I went wrong. I think that should have been a white flower edged in pink, and then I think I would have loved it. I really like the steps. I like the fact that I've gone for a different flower over the top of the sunflower. I like the way the diamonds are tucked in underneath it. But I don't know, there's something about that I don't like, and I'm pretty sure it's the flower. If we covered that up or got rid of it, this bit I'm quite happy with. That bit I'm not so sure about, but I did like the flower. I just don't know if I like the flower there or maybe that colour. I don't know. It's funny how sometimes we make something and it doesn't quite sit right with us. This is one of those that I'm kind of tempted to rip the flower off and do a different one. So we'll see, maybe. Let me know in the comments what you think. Okay, moving forward. This is cool. So we've got a diamond aperture running through on this one with a fluted edge to the insert, fluted edge to the outside, matching sunflower corners. On the inside, we've got that sunflower panel with that beautiful flower being put on the top of it. And then You Are So Special being put across the top. And that one is done by Wendy. Oh, even on the back, Wendy's continued. And she has added on more layers. Very, very effective to give us somewhere to write our message. Very nice. But when that stands open on a shelf, isn't that going to look really lovely to see the light shine through that one? Then we move on. Now this one is done by Laura. That beautiful green is coming into play here, a little bit of gold and beautiful flowers, and just showing how those corners really are worth their weight in gold on their own. Even if you're not going to use that central diamond every time, the corners are well and truly beautiful as they are. Now this is a bit yummy. I don't think I've seen this one before, Laura. This is really lovely. So we've got the yellow, we've got that lovely diamond coming into play, this time nested within the decal edges. We've got the decal edge rectangle with the corners being cut into it, and then the sunflowers being built up on the middles and in the edges. That looks really lovely. Then we've got another one from Laura. This time she has brought in those corners and tile cut them all across one sheet. How cool does that look? And then turned that into a background on a self-adhesive sheet with some glitter put through it. And then our last one for this panel is from Wendy. And Wendy has made a gatefold using that lovely striped diamond that we're going to get to in a second. But in the middle of it, we have got, of course, our sunflower diamond as the big reveal. Doesn't that work well? And those little dragonflies being added. Now I can tell you that Wendy doesn't like purple. Wendy hates purple. Wendy's least favourite colour is purple. So when I see she's worked in purple, I'm always really blown away because it's not a colour she sits comfy with, but it looks so good, doesn't it? It looks really effective, and actually the purple really suits it. So thank you for going outside your comfort zone there, Wendy. Okay, and then looking at the flowers, we mentioned the flowers, didn't we? And I said to you, you could use the flowers on their own if you want to. Now this is an absolutely spectacularly beautiful page created by Diane. And Diane really, to me on this page, two things stand out. One, of course, is the beautiful flowers and the way that she has kind of added them around where our photos would land. The second is how she has tiled the top and the bottom of this page. And I'm going to bring this up for you because, again, often we talk about the biggest sizes of the dies, but look how cool those little diamonds are going to be for doing tile effects like this across your projects. And just like she did on a project that we mentioned earlier, on some of them, she's embossed into them using the dies. So you're going to see that honeycomb coming through again on these sections. And that isn't paper piece, that's embossed using a rubber mat instead. So instead of just sending it through and cutting it out, she's added the rubber mat on the top there and it's embossed it instead of cutting it out. In the middle, she's used the same die to make the background diamonds running through from behind where her photos would land, obviously leaving these white diamonds for where the pictures, the journaling, the actual scrapbooking element is going to go within that project. But as a scrapbooker, blown away by that. I thought it was absolutely beautiful. Then another one from Diane. This time we've got a little bit of diamond stencil going on. We've got that opening in the middle that she's sunk her items into. This, of course, being the fluted diamonds and the plain diamonds, adding on the You Are So Special and building up around the corners again with those flowers to create these two sweeping effects, kind of nestling around that diamond, looking very beautiful. Now, we go from very big once again, these aren't intentionally laid out, but very big to very small. We are back to our Princess of A6, our Christine is back in the building with another card, and this time giving me snowflake vibes. I don't know why, I suppose it's the shades of blue. But doesn't that look cool as a really modern snowflake? It doesn't have to be a snowflake. I'm sure it wasn't intended as a snowflake. I think it's just intended as some really modern arty florals. But I feel you could make that very snowflakey if you wanted to. Christine's obviously aimed for a happy birthday here and finished it off of that. But it is showing that it could be very much taken off into different structures and themes if you wanted it to. I, of course, could add a snowflake into the middle of it if I wanted to, or maybe some glitter around it instead, and swap out the words for something a bit more wintry. But it is beautiful. I love that. Very, very cool. Then we move on, and this one is done by Ian. Ian has brought in that background panel that will be available on Thursday's shows. He's added on the sunflower standing at the bottom. He's brought in the dragonfly, and he's added to a very special friend on the top of it. And then the last one from these that I wanted to share with you is one done by Wendy. And Wendy has brought in the flowers. She's gone over the top of them with our grey ink, over the top of the pink card, and then matched that in with grey foliage, and then stuck to the pink and greys for her diamonds on the top and her layer on the inside of the card as well. So it all kind of coordinates beautifully and makes that kind of peekaboo edge, doesn't it? I love this panel being used in that sense because it just really is so beautiful and so delicate and gives that sneaky to the inside of the card. Okay, last set of samples to go for one of the die sets. And this, of course, is to go with the striped diamonds. So that's this set here that we was having a little look at. And this one, of course, can be used in portrait or landscape, depending on what you wish to be doing with it. Could be paper pieced back into, could be added glitter into, as you've seen a couple of times. Or like this one done by Diane, could be paper pieced back together to make a beautiful background. Then she's added on this box on the top there and put our flowers into the centres of them, into the box, and then added on the just buzzing by to say with the little bee going across the top as well. Doesn't that look rather cool? Then we have got this one. Now this one is done by Emma, sorry. Emma's created this one, again in that beautiful dark green with the soft green below it and the silver in the corners. And then the dragonfly coming through in the middle in just the silvers with the best wishes underneath it, giving very much racing green Jaguar-esqueness to me. I don't know why, but it's making me think of that. Do you remember John Major had a racing green Jag in like 1990? Do you remember that? Because I loved that car. Yeah. And that colour always reminds me of that racing green Jag. Okay. Don't know why.
I'm going to have a little look later.
Yeah. It was kind of, I suppose it was a sign of the time. I think he had a burgundy one as well that he would go around in. But it was the racing green one I loved. Anyway, going back to the cards and not talking about posh cards and past Prime Ministers, that's a whole topic for another day, I'm sure. We've got another one from our Queen of A6, our lovely Christine, bringing in those corner elements, making up these little panels, and then adding on our beautiful butterfly. Doesn't that look very cool and modern and edgy? Sticking with Christine for another one, again, paper piecing back together those diamond elements, putting underneath the aperture that she has created with our plain hearts, that lovely slatted effect underneath there with You Make My Heart Bloom. Ian has got very creative by putting the pieces back together and adding on number one dad, Happy Father's Day, and triple heat embossing a little motorbike to sit in the middle of it, just showing how this diamond could really go in for any occasion. Sticking with that idea in mind, Sharon's gone on and she's added a fairy on the top of hers, so you'll see that slatted background coming through just underneath and then building up with some stenciling on the top of it and a fairy in the centre of that. Wendy, going off on a different tangent, has gone very musical, going greens and golds and creams, very, very rich and elegant, adding in our musical die from the tile collection, or patchwork. Was that tiles or patchwork? I think patchwork for the little mini squares, weren't they? Patchwork collection.
Patchwork collection.
Yeah.
Yep.
So she's added in the music from those. And then one here from Laura. Laura has made a little easel, little cheeky easel, added on the flowers to the front there, and then kind of gone with this very summery, beachy-esque kind of mint green, cream white stripe. I don't know why I'm thinking beaches, thinking very elegant summery beaches. Nice. Then we've got this one, again bringing the pieces back together from Laura. She's added in the corners, she's added in that amazing diamond in the middle, but this time sticking a self-adhesive sheet underneath it, because this is direct into the card blank, so directly onto the front of the card. She's cut these pieces in, stuck a self-adhesive sheet underneath it and infilled it with our gemstones glitters in multiple shades of pinks and purples that again will be available on the shows this Thursday and have been out a little while, so may well be available at stockists too. Then we've got one from Wendy. Now Wendy's been very cool here. We go back to that patchworky style idea because she's brought in the damask, the stripe and the honeycomb, layered them all together and then built up on top of them using the stamp and die set, and of course adding in the sentiments, adding in the bees and adding in the flowers. And I really liked that. I thought it was nice. Again, lots of different shades running through this, lots of different textures. It's one of those cards where your eye's never going to be bored, is it? It's going to find new bits to look at each time you kind of scan over it. And that's a really lovely card. That's a card that isn't going to be taken down after a day or two. That's going to stand the test of time on that mantelpiece and be there for a good little while. Okay, last few bits of inspiration and then I promise we'll get on to some demos. But I've got them and I think it's only fair you see them. I always feel that Sneaky Peek Night is all about sharing what you can be doing with it and sharing as many samples as possible, because it's, to me, when I see these, that I think, hang on a minute, this is a collection I want to invest in, this is a collection I want to play with, this is a collection that's got legs, I'm going to use this in lots of different ways. And especially when we go back to the core components, these are the plain diamonds that the team have brought in and are working with. And you can see some really clever placement. It's like Christine here has used them to make up this beautiful pattern again, this kind of chevron pattern. And then here, using what's kind of the waist element of them chevrons or them corners and bringing it back together and sticking them up together to make this kind of crisscross background. I don't know how well you're going to see it, but they're all the pieces that she's kind of been left with. This really cool kind of geometric shape going on in the background there, paper piecement going on here. Another one that's very fun, again done by Christine, with her paper piecing kind of effect coming back in together. But I look across them, and I don't know about you guys, but I see them and I think that's hours of fun waiting for me to play with just that plain set of diamonds. There's going to be a lot of fun there. Now, one I did with this in mind, much bigger, sorry Christine, kind of come in and cover up all of your amazing cards. But this one, we go back to an 8x8. This is one of the first ones I did. I got those diamonds, I cut loads of them in white, bought in distress inks, distressed around the edges of them all, stuck them all together on a self-adhesive sheet, got out my clear texture paste, whopped that over the stencil, and then I bought in the copper and the gold from the mica mists, and I misted over the top of that clear, and you will then see that that colour has stayed within the clear texture paste and it's gone over the background as well to give that little metallic golden coppery hue across all of those diamonds. Very, very basic, nothing complicated, but a fun way in which to be able to use them. One I would have liked to have demoed, but I don't have plans to demo that anytime soon, so hence why I wanted to give you a little bit more of an explanation on it, because if you've got those mica mists, that can be a really fun way to use them. Then moving on, this is a cute nifty one. This one of course done by Christine, using the scalloped and pierced diamonds coming in to create that little effect. Again, showing you that kind of layered, woven, kind of notice board way that she's poked all of these bits in. I was saying this to Christine the other day, we had a long chat on the phone, and I was saying to her, I never understand how she fits so many bits and pieces into such a small footprint, and they look so good. And you know, I'm sure I could, but I always feel if I attempted that, it would look a mess. It would look overloaded. We all have our different strengths, don't we? And this again is why I love our DT, because I bring them to you in all of these different formats, and some might work for you, some might not. But Christine's layering and ability to put so much into a small footprint just bamboozles me every time I see it. Speaking of which, another one here from Christine. These lovely oranges and golds and yellows work really nicely. And this one's lovely. This one's done by Emma. So again, you may well see a video for this, bringing in that same patchwork musical background, piecing that together and then adding in the violin and the flowers across the top of it. Now this is a fun one from Laura. Laura's made a little shaped card that of course folds down flat. She's used the diamond to cut out the aperture, and then she's gone to town with some of our steampunk elements. There's the fob watch, the little hat, the cogs and the keys all coming into play throughout this creation. And then of course on the inside, you may well be able to see that one of the diamonds also coordinating with that same postage edge to it going into that bit there. And then down the sides, you may not be able to see that too well, but she's also used the cog stencil to really bring that kind of cog steampunk theme to home. And then another one from Diane. And earlier I mentioned playing cards, and I said I'll share with you at some point the card I mentioned, or kind of give me that thought. This is Diane's lovely playing card. So you can see here she has used the plain diamonds, the stitched diamonds, the postage diamonds, and then added in a stitched one on top of her playing card element. In the background you will find those same diamonds coming through to make up the layers, and the little plain diamonds making up the tops and the bottoms. And then of course our velvet script alphabet being used for the A's in the corners. Then a couple more to go through, and then I promise we'll do something to hopefully inspire you with this being made up. But there are a few more I wanted to share. So Christine again has made us this lovely little one here, where she's added on the violin and the bees, and added some silver beautifulness onto those little panels with the little bee stamps. Then I don't wish to worry you, Christine, but I have a feeling Sharon might be after your crown. We have got a lovely little A6 card from Sharon where she's turned the diamonds into a kite. How cool is that? Again, stenciling in a lovely background and then building up that kite with a little ribbon to give that illusion. Then Wendy has done some lovely piecing with the deckled edge diamonds coming up together, and then adding on the dragonflies, the tree work and the word hi. And then another one here from Wendy. This is rather effective, Wendy. I love this. So again, bringing in the diamonds, making that sort of swish at the top and the bottom, and then adding that over the top of a landscape diamond, adding the your two kind and the butterflies onto it. Again, when we talk of placement, when we talk of occasions, when we talk of themes, that could be dressed into anything, couldn't it? That could have a little Easter basket on it. It could have a heart in the middle for Valentine's. It could be a wedding card. It could be a Christmas card. That layout is just screaming to be used in all different directions for all different reasons. And then another one that I might well demo at some point. I don't know, we will see. But this one's just a quick, simple one again. Just bringing in those diamonds. This time the decal with the stitch on the inside of them. Cutting lots of them out in white. And then foam padding them onto a piece of the rose gold pearl card. And then building up the cosmos flowers with the twiddly bits, both of which will be on the shows on Thursday. And of course, that butterfly, which again will be on the shows on Thursday, just to finish that off. And again, when you're talking about different ways and means to start a card, especially if you're somebody who sometimes hits a bit of a brick wall and you're not too sure what you want to do, build that up, your background, your lovely latticey effect with all of your diamonds, and then get creative on the top of your theme, season, reason that you want to be working with. Because okay, I've gone floral, and here Wendy's gone kind of butterfly-y. But again, you could be doing any occasions you want to over these. This is an essential set that is going to work for you for just about any occasion. Then another one here from Ian, and we're getting to the end, I promise. But Ian has created this lovely diamond gatefold card where it opens up, and on the insert he's used the corners to cut in and then paper piece back in. Same with the insert panel here, using those fluted edges that works really nicely. On the outside, fluted edge diamonds, plain diamonds, and an array of flowers that make this really opulent card. Slightly smidge oriental to me. I think it's that lovely burgundy and cream and gold coming together. Then two more, and then I promise we'll do a demo. So this one's one by Emma, and Emma has brought in all of those different elements, those piercy elements, the pierces and the stitch, and she's put them together and made up this incredible background. So she's done this nestled inside one of our scalloped and pierced rectangles. She's then brought in the corner elements, and she's not even kept it uniform. On one side we've got pierced, and then we've got stitch. Over here we've got stitch, and then we've got pierced. Up here, I think possibly the opposites are going on, but it just works, doesn't it? It brings it all together and it plays around with those kind of effects that we can be creating. And then she's of course made her kites, and this time using the different shapes once again from in the sets, different sizes coming together to play to make those, and then adding wishing you the most magical birthday onto that one. And then the last one, we go end with one of Christine's, another dinky one, another cute little card. This time Christine has used her diamonds, she's used the plain ones to cut out, she's used the stitch lines around them to make these lovely little windows, and then she's built up around them using those excess diamonds. It just works. That looks like you've bought a very expensive panel die, but instead made them out of your nested sets, and it just works so well. Adding in the high from the stamp set, the dragonflies that again will be on the shows, and then here is our lovely dotty stuff, which is our perfect forming dot material that comes in like a glue bottle, and then we decant it into little ultrafine bottles and apply the dots and then sprinkle the glitters over the top, and those of course are our gemstone glitters. Now a huge thank you to sticking with me this long if you're still here with us. I hope you've enjoyed seeing all of that inspiration. There was oodles upon oodles, wasn't there? It's hard to know where to even begin to say thank you, and I'm hoping that you have been truly inspired by all of those creations. Now, of course, you will get to see them again on Hobby Maker on Thursday at 2 PM and 6 PM. We will, of course, also be back next Monday for our stockist launch, when we'll be showing you a few of them again, maybe a few different ones as well. But in the meantime, in the next day or two, you will find that we will put up an album on the Creative Expressions website, and it will be under the Idea Gallery section. So if you go onto the Idea Gallery, it will open up and it will show you a little thumbprint, or a little, what do they call them? Not thumbprint, thumbnail, that's the word. Thumbnail for each collection we bring you from all of our different brands, and if you give that a little click, it will open up and all of the cards myself and the DT create are all in there for you. So yes, we'll post them on Facebook, yes, you'll see them in different places, but if you want actual full-on inspiration from everything I've just shared with you, they'll all be on that one page for you at any time. And that might be in 2 or 3 days time. Might be when you're watching the shows and think, actually, I want to see the cards in more details before I order. Or it could be 2 years down the line when you've got this collection and you think, what did they do? How did they do that? Why did they do that? What colour scheme did they use? That idea gallery doesn't go anywhere, it stays there, and you'll be able to see them from our very first collection at Jamie Rodgers Crafts, not far off, 2 years ago actually, all on there ready for you to go back and have a little look at. So if you are ever struggling for ideas, struggling for inspiration, or got a collection and not too sure what to do with it, do check out that idea gallery. So while I unpack my first kit, Pete, is there any questions I can be answering at the same time?
No, lots of love for the samples, which is nice. Thank you very much for your comments.
Thank you.
Mary, I was just like a confirmation of stock with launch dates, if that's possible.
Next Tuesday. So again, we don't hide this. This isn't a secret at all. Whenever we are on TV, the next Tuesday is when it becomes available at the stockists. So if we're on telly on Saturday, it will be the following Tuesday. If we're on Thursday, the following Tuesday. Always the following Tuesday. So again, we're on Thursday. I don't know the date this week or the stockist launch date, but it's this Thursday coming, which has got to be the 12th of March. And then we went on the 14th. So Sunday's the 15th, Monday's the 16th, Tuesday's the 17th.
I was going to say the 17th.
He sat there looking more confused than I was. So don't listen to him.
I think they could hear it in my
Don't
voice.
listen to him. Honestly. Peter, you're so cheeky. Over there trying to lead us astray. Okay, so let's show you what we're going to do to begin with, shall we? So this is the card that we're going to create, and we'll have a little look at how this one comes together. It's really simple, so do not fear. Nothing complicated here. It's too difficult to have to think too hard, so let's do something simple and easy, shall we? So what we're going to do to begin with is we are going to go to our nesting set of scalloped and pierced rectangles, and I don't know if that's the right size. Oh, it looks like it might be. We'll bring that in and we're going to place that down on our plate. My magnetic plate looks like it's been through the walls a little. I don't know who's been using this week, but somebody's had fun with it. We're then going to go on to our dies, and we are going to find our... Where have I hid it, Peter? Where have I hid it? Give me 1 second, I will find them. They cannot be that far away. There is so much stuff in this room this evening. It is ridiculous. But this is the joy of all of these amazing samples and all of these lovely products to play with. So we're going to go on and we're going to bring in that damask diamond. And we're going to bring in the 4 corners to begin with. So let's bring these in one at a time. We don't want the outside edges. These can stay in place. We're going to bring these parts in and we're going to lay them on the inside of the frame. And we're not going to go directly right the way up to the edge, because every now and again when your machine's going through, things move, even on a magnetic sheet. So it's nice to have a little bit of breathing room, a little bit of wiggle room. So we'll place these in all 4 corners. Now, of course, this opens up options to us, doesn't it? And you're one step ahead of me. You're a talented bunch. You know much more than I do, genuinely. But you might say, well, actually, we've got that opening in the middle. Instead of adding in more, what we could do is bring in a scallop diamond and actually cut out the centre of that instead. We could have that as an opening. It doesn't have to have more in it. Or we could say, well, actually, we're going to add in another stitch detail or a pierce detail running around that. So we'd have to find the right size for that. Let's see if we could, well, that would be that one there, wouldn't it? That would fit beautifully. We could say, well, we're going to have a pierced element. We're going to build up on top of that. But we're going to stick to what we're meant to be doing. So we're going to take that one out and we're going to find our damask centre. And we're going to bring this in and we're going to lay that in the middle of that area. And then we're going to take a piece of white card and we're going to cut this out because it's nice for you to see the dies cutting. So let's pop on a piece of white and send that through, if I can find where I've hid my cutting plate. I've found it. Send that through. Now, of course, depending on your machine, you might wish to twist this and send it back through the other way. There's a lot of cutting points going on here. We're asking this to cut all 4 corners, the edges, the piercing, all of that in one go. But let's have a little look and see how we go. As always, I'm using a Pro Cut kit and a kit and caboodle Pro Cut. He's a bit of a mouthful, isn't it? That's my excuse. I'm sticking to it. But now it's gone through, we can see all of that is cut beautifully for us. No fear, we can take this away. And all of that, look, you don't want to watch me stand and poke it all out, dear. It's going to take a moment. But it gives you the idea there that all of that, even the most fiddly bits, are all cut for us. These little twiddles, look how cute these are. Let me get that off. Get them away, you. Oh. Do you know when you try to do something quickly, you make it look 7 times more complicated than if you just hadn't even bothered? It would have just fell out had I have left it. Oh, come here. Honestly. Oh. It's not there. Oh, there we go. All I wanted to show you was how cute these little fall away pieces are, because each of these little flourishy pieces are really beautiful. So actually it might be, and they're quite chunky, so it might be that you want to paper piece them back in, or it might be that you want to add these into your flowers, because there's some really beautiful pieces from in these. So don't necessarily waste them, don't necessarily discard them. They could be really nice little focal pieces that are being added into your foliage or making patterns with, or whatever you may wish. But all of this is all cut beautifully. I could get a pokey tool and poke it all out, but I won't. You've hopefully got the idea. You can see it's all cut through. All of those elements cut, one pass through our machine. Let's just get rid of those bits. And we'll bring in one that I've already done. So here is our finished panel. Now for speed, I've already had some crystals added to this just quickly so that they're ready to build. And because I knew at this stage we're not going to have too much time this evening before you all fall asleep, because let's be honest, I waffle for England and it's enough to send you to sleep. So let's bring in some of that lovely light mint. Now earlier I asked you what was your favourite colour in the pearl card. Now Peter, on the spot time, did you get an overwhelming answer? Did you get random answers? What did you get?
Titanium, I think, was one of the favourites.
Following Emma.
Mm-hmm.
Emma's win was titanium, so that's an interesting one. Okay, so what? Now you've answered that question. I haven't told Pete this. We've got a question for you this evening regard to win the card, because we like to give away the card. If we've made a card, we like to give it away. So we want to give away your card. And I don't want you to Google this. And I know that's really silly, because I know somebody will. But I'm going to ask you a fair question and we'll see if we get honest answers or honest guesses. And then Pete will pick one of the winning answers to win the card and we'll send it to wherever you live in the world, postage included, of course. Your question tonight, we don't normally ask questions, we don't ask silly things. Your question tonight, in which country did the tradition of engagement rings start? I'm going down the idea of diamonds, okay? Diamonds, engagement rings, see the thread? That's where we're going. So in which country did the tradition of engagement rings start? Is it A, Italy, B, the USA, or C, Austria? Now you don't know the answer.
No, I don't.
I haven't told you, which is a bit silly because he's got to pick the winner. Would you like to give us a guess from your side?
Oh, blimey.
A, Italy, B, the USA, or C, Austria? Speak amongst yourselves. Only enter once, please, because if not, that's going to be a bit silly because you're just going to enter 3 times, aren't you? So just enter once and let us know who you think, where you think is the right answer, please.
Maybe
Please.
Italy, because you always think that they're romantic.
I wanted to do
Or
a
is
wee
that
wee,
Venice?
but that's France.
I know. Austria would be I'm going to move to Austria.
Did you say you're going to move to Austria?
I
Is that
would
a
like to move
promise?
to You're
Would you
not
like
that
a
lucky.
ticket? Can I get you a ticket, sir? I've nearly got rid of him there. You all heard it. He promised to move to Austria. No, I wouldn't want him to go, really. Okay, so I appear this is the joy of me running late today. Haven't checked my kit and I'm missing a panel, so you're going to have to bear with me for a second while I cut a panel. I'm ever so sorry. I usually like to be prepared, but today it's been bonkers here. Good bonkers, it's always bonkers, but there's lots going on, as there always is, and more to come. So let's see if I can find the right panel, because I don't know where I've hidden my dies. See if we can find it. I don't even know if I've got it. Maybe that's why they haven't cut me one. Let's have a little look and see if we can find a panel. Where did I put them then? I'm still, oh, they might do, Peter. Let's have those in here, thank you. So we may have to go with a slightly different edge, which isn't the end of the world. Let's have a little look, see. Let's see if we've got the next one up to that. What are you pointing at? These?
Are
Why
they
have you
not the
turned
ones?
into a mute? Don't leave me hanging and just start randomly pointing. We're going to be here forever.
Is it those?
We'll do that. We'll go with those because I think that's going to look
I
better.
might have seen him sort of, work out what I'm trying to say.
I don't know why. You do this so frequently on videos and lives. You chat away, and then you turn into a mute and I suddenly have to guess. I get ever so confused. It's not hard to confuse me, in fairness. So we're going to go for that lovely mint card so that it matches. There we go. And we're going to do it the same size because that's the set of dies I've got in here. And we're going to send that through to cut it out. And then that can live underneath our lovely panel. So while that's going through, let's remove our frame tape. Now, has anybody started to guess already, Peter? Do we have some intelligent diamond engagement ring knowledgeable people with us? Or people who have Googled it?
Well, there's Austria and Italy. I think Austria's winning so far.
So nobody thinks it's the Americans?
I don't know. May seems to think it was ancient Rome, so she went with Italy.
Okay. I like the guesses. The guesses are good.
Always giving nothing away, is he? Even I don't know yet. I'm being good.
I'm not going to say anything because it's not fair
not, is it?
to guide it. I will tell you that when I was looking for a question, there was about 15 we could have asked you.
I thought you was going to say you was looking for my engagement ring then.
No. Remember,
It's a
ticket.
definite no.
Getting rid of you.
I'm off to Austria.
Not looking for any more commitment, looking for a ticket. No, not at all. There was about 15 questions, all diamond related. That was the easiest. Did make me think we should do a bit of a quiz one night though.
We could have a little quiz.
Could have a little cheeky quiz, couldn't we? Could you imagine the mischief we'd get into with a quiz? So we're going to add that down on top there. It's actually quite nice having that extra white frame. I'm not mad about that. Quite like that. Then we're going to bring in our violin, and we're going to stand our violin just off to one side in the middle of our damask. Our little beautiful panel. And then we're going to bring in our flowers. Now you don't want to watch me make flowers, I'm pretty sure. So what I'm going to do is tell you a little bit about them. So this of course is our Cosmos flower. It's one plate die, so one plate, everything you need is going to cut out for you. Send it through your machine with your same colour cardstock. It makes lots of different sizes of flowers. It even has the little middle stamen bits in there for you as well. So I'm going to do 2 of these and I'm going to bring them in and I'm going to tuck them just around the side there of the violin. Something like that, I feel. And we're going to add these on with our foam tape once again. So this is just our 1mm foam tape. And we're going to stick a little bit under the biggie and a little bit under the lily to complete the look. And there we go. Want to anchor that one down on there. And that gives us our first card. Now, if you wanted to add a sentiment onto there, there's certainly room to bring in a sentiment. You might want to go for more flowers. You might want to add in some more foliage. You've got lots and lots of choices. Now, Peter, while I'm desperately trying to keep it together and make my card, you seem to be skulking around my room like you've seen something living on the floor. Would you like to tell the people what you're looking for?
Maybe I was looking for his answers.
So you were trying to cheat on my quiz. Caught is what I think they call it. Caught.
Red-handed.
Caught. There I am, building flowers, manipulating leaves. And what are you doing? Trying to cheat my answers.
That was a little mouse trap. It's going to catch my fingers ready.
I'm telling you, that's the least of your worries. A mousetrap, my goodness. Honestly, Peter. Okay, so that completes our first card. Now, I have a feeling we have been live for what feels like several hours, and you
I feel
don't want
they've
to.
seen enough of me as well.
Yeah, sorry, let's bring it back to me. Not
Poor
that that's any
people.
better, but you probably don't want to watch any more. And I'm going to leave you teased and ready for Thursday, because on Thursday, obviously, we'll have 2 shows on Hobby Maker, and we'll give you even more inspiration. Although I'm hoping, as we normally do, we've only done our 1 demo this evening, but it's all about seeing all of that inspiration, isn't it? And again, a huge thank you to our DT. They work so hard. Do I seem distracted? That's because of the card is over this side with the answer on, and Peter is that side, stood there going, You don't know the half of what I have to put up with in a day, honestly. And he plays the victim, and it's me that struggles. I'm telling you, I deserve a medal. But going back to it, so Hobby Maker on Thursday, 2 p.m. and 6 p.m. We'll bring you more inspiration with the collection. Next Monday, we'll be back for Monday Night Natter with even more inspiration from this collection. And of course, on Saturday, if you are coming to see us at Gwen's demo day at the Stamp Pad in Saddleworth, then you will find more inspiration, more examples, more demonstrations with this collection as well, because it's what I'm going to be playing with, sat up my little stand in the little hallway. So if you are coming to that, you'll see even more then, and you'll be able to touch and feel the samples too, take some photos as well. We'll also be on my part looking at Crafty Concoctions too, and there'll be a bit more inspiration with the Shabby Chic collection. Now Gwen will be playing with Crafty Concoctions. And what else, Peter? Don't leave me now. You're the one who's organised this. What's Gwen doing on Saturday for her table?
No, he's caught me.
I think it's Easter and Sue's windows, maybe.
Yeah.
And then Francoise will be bringing inspiration with Norman's latest collection.
The garden collection, yeah.
Sharon Curtis has got some Woodware stamps and some JamieRodgerscrafts stamps. And of course her journaling from Evelyn and Sage. And then Carla Bagshaw will be doing quilling. And Joe Rice will be doing Lavinia. So lots to come and see. Lots and lots and lots. But if you want more inspiration with the diamonds and you are in the area, then do book a ticket to come along to Gwen's demo day, because it'll be a good day to find out even more from this collection. But of course, if you can't make it, Thursday, Hobby Maker, that's the day for you. Or next Monday when we're back for the live, when we'll try and fit in even more demos for you then, because of course you will have already ordered your collection, have your collection coming, or know which stockist you're going to be ordering your collection from when it is released on Stockist Launch Day on the next day, the Tuesday. Okay, what have I not told you about? Let's make sure I'm up to date. So Hobby Maker, Thursday, 2 p.m, 6 p.m. Gwen's live this Thursday, as always, 7 p.m. Saturday, demo day at Gwen's. Don't forget that. Love to see you there. And then other news for you to know about. March 28th is the demo day at Craft Bliss. So if you're in the Poole area and you would like to attend a demo day with Gwen, then do check that out. That will be 10 till 4 on Saturday, the 28th of March, with Gwen at Craft Bliss. And that is all of the bits I have to tell you about this evening. Are you ready to pick a winner? You better know what the answer is, haven't you?
Absolutely.
It's on the bottom. I'll do you a trade. While Pete picks the winner, we'll have a quick look at the new Polka Doodle stuff, and then that will give him a moment to read my answer and tell us about it. And I know that I've kept you for absolutely hours this evening, so I'm sorry, but I do want to talk loosely about Polka Doodles, because Polka Doodles is one of the brands we distribute here at Creative Expressions. And I don't know if it's necessarily a given. What does that mean? What is distribution? What does that mean when they say distribute? So as you know, Creative Expressions, we have a few brand names we own. So of course we own the name Creative Expressions, we own the name Crafty Concoctions, we own Woodware, and of course, rightly, we pretty much have to, don't we? We own the jamierodgerscrafts brand. So that's kind of our world. They're all of the bits we produce, we bring to you, we design, we manufacture, we work with our team to bring you. But what we also like to do is work with outside companies, because outside companies are other companies in the industry. They do different products, they do different things, they do different ways. So like we bought you recently Scrap Boys as one of our new distribution ship brands. That was only the week before last, maybe, something along them lines. So very recently we announced our partnership with Scrap Boys. It means we can bring you products that we don't already have in our world. And to be honest with you, quite a lot of the time, don't feel we can compete. They've got their own style, their own ethos, their own way of doing things. Why reinvent the wheel if actually we can say to you, do you know what, they're a really good value brand, great design, great creations, great artwork. Let's actually bring you that instead. So that's what we do from time to time, not all of the time, but time to time. And Scrap Boys is one of the brands we do that with. Polka Doodles is another one of them. And Polka Doodles have just sent us in over 60 brand new items that are now available through your stockists. So again, check out the website, have a look at where your local stockist is, and then maybe pester them, pay them a visit them online, ask them, will you be having the new Polka Doodles products that are now available through Creative Expressions? Because you will find there is a whole array of dies, stamps, stencils, MDF, papers, tools that we now carry from Polka Doodles that are available to each and every one of our stockists. So when you look at that stockist list on the website, if they don't already have these goodies in stock or en route, they've only just been announced, a lot of them, give them a message, pop in and see them, give them a call, whatever way it is that you normally talk to them, and say to them, I've seen that Jamie's got that new Polka Doodles release. Any chance you can order me X, Y, and Z? And I'm pretty sure they'll be able to order it for you. Now, I'm hoping in the next couple of weeks we're going to fit in bringing you some lives with Polka Doodles and some more inspiration, because I don't know about you guys, but I look at this, I need to play with this. This is a set I need. This is the Just a Little Note stamp and die set. I'm obsessed by this. I love a typewriter, and I just think that's really cool, beautiful image. So I'm hoping that we'll fit in bringing you some more inspiration with it. But in the meantime, get your hands on it while it's available, because there is absolutely loads of goodies, including layering stencils, stamps and dies, papers. The list really does go on, and the themes and occasions that they're covering is never ending. It's like these stencils. You will find backgrounds, you will find flowers, you will find birthdays, you will find damask, you will find fishing nets, geometric, candles, dinosaurs, dog bones, space. It just is endless. Celebrate, another beautiful pattern, football, colouring pencils and scribbles, stars in different arrays, dots in different arrays, hexagons that would go well with the bees, celebrate background wording. Numbers, that's a really cool modern one. They're just stencils. And then in MDF, if you've got your grandkids or your children, or maybe you just want to have a bit of a play around, look at these for MDF cuteness. And these are really silly prices. They're like $3.99 retail, if I remember rightly. Something along them lines. They're not expensive. And you've got these little pop-out. These ones got little hands. They can hold notes and chocolate bars. Adore them. Or maybe you want an Easter egg stand to build. All of these done out of MDF, and there's a whole array. If Easter isn't your thing, there are beautiful welcome signs, there are little displays, there are 3D plaques, and all of these are now available through all of our Creative Expressions stockists, if they so wish to stock them. So once again, don't be shy. Let them know that you've seen them, you want them, and I'm sure they will be able to get their hands on them for you. One of the other things I would really like to point out that Polka Doodles do so well are their tools. They've got blending tools, they've got sponges, they've got spongy cloths, they've got easy peel tools. You know, when we struggle with lifting up tapes, red liner tapes, foam tapes, this little tool, you literally just pull it against it and it peels it up for you. How cool is that? Really, really easy tool, really, really good quality. And they've even got masking sheets, so when it comes to stamping, if you want to mask out different bits and pieces, they've got them available too. This certainly isn't all of the Polka Doodles we do. This is just what's coming new or back in stock this week. And again, you can pop onto the Creative Expressions website and see all of the Polka Doodles range we carry. You can again see the stockist list and then work out which stockist you want to check if they've got this available or not. So have a little look around and see if it's something you'd like the look of. But as a brand, I always think to you guys it's a really strong message if we say, do you know what, we can create all of these things, but actually this brand is one that we admire so much that although we can do our own MDF, we can do our own stencils, we can do our own dies, we've chose to bring you theirs as well because we believe that they offer something that we might not necessarily be able to do. Whether that is design style, price point, quality, whatever it may be, we feel for some reason, somehow, they're offering you something that we would like to bring to you and make sure you have available. So that's why we do it. That's why we bring you these distributed brands. So Peter, do we have ourselves a winner as yet?
We might do.
Are you ready to come over to you?
Oh, better get me a little sound box. It's been a night, hasn't it?
What does that mean? It's been a good night. We've fitted in endless samples, Polka Doodles goodness, endless dies.
Rob, love you, Rob. Rob put first it's the engagement ring, then the wedding ring, then the suffering. He's giving me the eyes, so I'm not going to say what. Anyway.
All I'm thinking is I've skipped the rings and I've just gone to the suffering.
Anyway, thank you all for your comments and joining in. Oh, not passing on what he's just doing. Thank you all for your comments. Thank you for joining us tonight. And you seem to love the diamonds, so thank you for that. Lovely, lots of nice comments. So the winner for tonight's competition, which with an answer of C for Austria, is Bev Cornswaite. Thank you, Bev. If you want to drop us an email, jamierodgerscrafts@hotmail.com. Let us know if you'd like Jamie to sign the cards. We'll get popped in the post. Thank you very much.
Very good, very, very, very good. Well done, Bev. That's lovely to see you win. This, of course, is the card that you have won. As Pete said, if you would like to let us know where to send it to, if you'd like it signed, we'll get it popped in the post for you. Now, what Pete didn't tell you is the fact behind why it's Austria.
Let you read that one out.
If you're going to let me read it, but he kept the card.
Something to do with Maximilian.
Don't go ruining my punchline. That's my fact you're giving away. My fact.
Hang on.
That's it.
Is there a little fact button?
Honestly. So it is C, Austria. After Archduke Maximilian of Austria gave the first engagement ring in 1477. How did you struggle to read that?
That's good.
I thought a bit of fact to back up the answer was nice. Thank you to Google.
Factual Monday.
Factual Monday. We might have to make this a habit, giving a bit of fact, a bit of education. Don't know about that. We'll try. Thanks to Google. Okay, well, we're going to leave you in peace. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for sticking with us. I hope, as Pete says, you've enjoyed the collection. Lovely to hear that you are seeming to like it. I promise I'll go back and read all of your comments a little later on because I can't read and do that, just doesn't work. But Pete seems pleased that you seem to like it, and that's lovely to hear. Thank you once again to our incredible DT for doing all of that incredible work and sharing with us your huge talent, because genuinely it's a joy for us to be able to share it all with everybody and hopefully inspire them of what they could be creating with this collection. And if you have been inspired and you would like to track this down, then do not forget it will be available on HobbyMaker on Thursday at 2 PM and 6 PM. I'll then have it with me exclusively at Gwen's Demo Day on Saturday from 10 till 4. And then you'll have to wait, I'm afraid, till Stockist launch day, which is next Tuesday, if you don't wish to get it from HobbyMaker or, of course, at Gwen's Demo Day on the Saturday. But I'm sure wherever you get it from, they'll be very grateful to have you, and we'd be very grateful to see what you create with it. As always, once you've got your parcels, whether you wish to share a happy mail with us as they arrive, whether you go into a store, whether you come to a demo day and purchase it, if you want to pop a picture of where you've got it from, or take a picture, share it with us, that where you've supported, where you've got it from, we'd love to see that on our group. And then once you have been creating with it, then we would absolutely love to see what you've been making with it too. And the group, if you're not already a member, is of course the Creative Expressions official group. You can pop on there, it's free to join, and it's your space to share with us your arrivals, your shopping habits, your shopping pleasures, or of course what you've been creating. And we'd love to see all of it. We're here for all of it. We're very, very nosy. Okay, from me, good night, and from Pete.
And good night from me. Thank you for joining us.
And we will see you all on Thursday. Bye for now. Thanks again.
Good
See
night.
you soon.
Bye.